Hey, what is going on, guys? It's down here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best linear settings to be using here in Fortnite. I'm going to show you guys some very good settings that you guys can use for really almost anything, whether it comes to building and editing. If you want to work on aim, I feel like these settings are going to be some of the best to use. And I'm also going to explain exactly why these settings specifically are going to be for the majority of you players. And real quick, before I get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. So if you guys want 2,000 free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys do turn on those post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And lastly, comment down below either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And also, if you guys like to support me in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom, click on support a creator, type in my code. My creator code is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I wanted to be giving you guys some very good linear settings to use. So if you guys are looking for some new linear settings or just want to see the settings that I'm currently using, these are going to be the settings that I'm using, and they're very, very good for the majority of you players. Now, when it comes to the settings I'm going to show you guys, there's going to be two different variants that I want to show, and specifically two different building and editing sensitivities, because I feel like when it comes to your playstyle, I think that is going to make a big difference. So everything else is the same, but I have two different building and editing sensitivities that you guys should try out. So here I'm going to be going into the settings and giving you guys all of the sensitivities that I'm currently using. So here I am going into my settings, and so these are, like I said, linear settings. I have been using linear since for a minute. I used to play on Legacy even after linear came out for a while, but I did end up switching to linear, and of course they removed Legacy, so that ended up being a very good move for myself. So here are the linear settings I'm currently using, and so I have controller auto run. I have it off, but I technically have it on. I don't know why. I don't need to have it on for it to work, but I do have controller auto run on. Obviously Builder Pro, and then the edit times on the lowest. Vibration, I have that off, and vibration is one of those settings that if you guys haven't turned off, I've mentioned it in one of my previous videos. If you haven't turned off vibration, make sure you guys do so, because when you have vibration on, what can happen is the vibration can throw off your aim quite a bit, which makes you a lot less steady and can really hinder your ability to control the recoil. So when you have vibration on, for those guys who may have it, just go ahead and turn it off. It does feel weird at first, but once you get used to it, trust me, it definitely is the move to make. So going down to my other settings, so for my editing sensitivity, or my building and editing, my building is a 1.9 and my editing is a 2.1. Now with my 52% X and Y horizontal and vertical sensitivity, a 1.9 and a 2.1 is pretty high of a sensitivity. So I want to give you guys another sensitivity to try out for building and editing if you feel like these sensitivities is too high. But the reason why I have a 1.9 and a 2.1, which like I said is a little bit on the high end, is because for myself with skill-based matchmaking, I'm fighting tryhards every single game, and as well I do play on 240 FPS, so I'm able to control the sensitivity a lot more than a lot of you guys who probably play on console. So that's why I do play on much higher building and editing, but some of you guys on console might like the sensitivity as well. But like I mentioned, it is a little bit on the high end, but when I play a bunch of tryhard PC keybots, this is the sensitivity that I really do like to have, that I feel like I'm able to compete against those players much easily. I feel like I'm able to build and edit as fast as I need to. But another building and editing sensitivity I would probably recommend for the majority of you guys is going to be building a 1.8 and an editing a 1.9. Now this is very, very controllable. This is very smooth. This is for, I think, a good balance if you want to be able to build fast, if you want to be able to build smooth. I feel like this is a very, very good balance. I'm able to control it very well. So like I said, a 1.8 building and a 1.9 editing sensitivity, that is going to be going along with my 52% X and Y, so my vertical and horizontal is 52%, and the building is going to be 1.8 and 1.9. Now these are the sensitivity that I would recommend for probably the majority of you guys, because like I said, the 1.9 building and the 2.1 editing definitely is on the high end, and for a lot of you guys, maybe if you really like that high sensitivity, you can try it out, but 1.8 and 1.9 is probably going to be the best for the majority of you guys. So my 52% X and Y sensitivity, now I'm going to explain to you why. So from my previous linear settings, I played on a 48%, so I raised both my vertical and horizontal by 4%, and the reason why I did so is because, like I said, I play a bunch of sweaty keybot players every single game, meaning that I need to really have down my flick shots and be able to turn as fast as possible, and with my 52%, I'm actually really good at controlling this higher sensitivity, and you guys will see I'm just going to practice my flick shots so you guys can really get the picture of what I'm talking about, because I really wanted to improve my flick shots and also my ability to turn around as fast as possible, because I noticed sometimes in a few of my gunfights that I wasn't able to turn around as fast as possible. Like 48% I was really accurate with, but I wasn't, like, in just some instances I wasn't able to turn quick enough, so bumping it up to a 52% for myself was just fast enough to where I'm able to turn around to fight other players when need be, and also still be very accurate. So here I am just practicing my flick shots, and that was kind of one of the biggest reasons on upping my sensitivity. As you can see, I'm still very good with my flick shots. I'm still very accurate, and that's why I think 52% is good enough where it's a little bit on the high end, where you can be very quick with it, but not too far to where it's a little bit uncontrollable. So that is the horizontal and vertical sensitivity that I have. So next I'm going to be going down to my ADS sensitivity, my aim down sights. Now I have it both on 11%. Now this is probably a little bit on the low end, maybe you guys paying like a 13 and 14%, but I do like in between, honestly in between like 9% and 11%, I really do like for ADS sensitivity, because typically when you're close range, as I showed you in the example of me just going for flick shots, you're usually just hip firing, so you don't really have to worry about being able to ADS and move very quickly from close range, because a lot of times in close range with shotguns you're hip firing quite a bit, and when it comes to long range you want to be on a very low ADS sensitivity, because if someone's say 100 yards out and you play on a high sensitivity for ADS, it's going to be very difficult to hit shots on the other player, especially for you guys who are on linear settings, which are the settings that I'm showing you guys in this video. It's going to be very difficult to hit someone from range if you have, like, say a 16 or 17% ADS sensitivity. Now also you can adjust your look dampening time if you feel like your accuracy isn't good enough. Look dampening time kind of adds like an extra dead zone, and so going into my dead zones, it is on 11% and a 10%. Now I used to play on an 8% for my look stick dead zone, but I was having a little bit of stick drift, so I ended up bumping it up to about 10%. So I have 11% and also a 10%. And going down into my foot controller, now this is really specific to exactly what you're looking to do with your controls. So for the majority of you guys, if you want to focus on aim, you want to have foot controller off. I made a whole video to really explain the details, but basically, long story short, you want to have the foot controller setting off if you want to focus on aim, because it slows down your aim just a little bit. And if you are the type of player that just 100% focuses on free builds and building and editing, I would recommend having foot controller on. Now, so with foot controller on, it makes everything a little bit more loose, a little bit more linear, and with it off, it makes everything, I guess, a little bit more sturdy. I don't know if that's the best word to see, but you can definitely tell when you have it off, you're able to aim a little bit better, versus when you have it on, you're able to edit a little bit better. So if you guys are focusing on aim, you want to improve your aim, I recommend having this setting off. But if you're just a strictly creative warrior who just likes to crank edits and crank builds, then I probably would recommend having that foot controller setting on. So those are just my recommendations as far as the foot controller. Really just depends on your playstyle. Like I said, if you're aiming, turn it off, and if you're looking for building and editing, make sure you turn it on. So those are kind of my recommendations for that. Now, as far as my other sensitivities, like I mentioned in this video, I think these settings are very good for the majority of you players, even though I get a lot of you guys in the comments like, hey, you play on 240 FPS. You know, in console, it's like 100% different, but that's why when I adjust my sensitivity, and that's when I showed you guys that maybe having on the sensitivity that I have on your building and editing, maybe moving it down to like a 0.8 and or 1.8 and a 1.9 definitely is controllable for you console players. It's not going to be outside of the reach of being very different, or to the point where it's uncontrollable and it's going to be completely different settings. Because when I switched, I think back last year when I switched from console, I had an Xbox X, and I switched over to a PC, I didn't even change my sensitivity. I kept the exact same sensitivity, because you play in higher frames, you have more control, so meaning you can control higher sensitivities a lot better. But for myself that plays on a little bit to lower to like a medium sensitivity, I don't change my sensitivity at all, no matter what FPS. I could be on like 120 FPS and I would still be on the exact same sensitivity as I am on 240, because changing your frames really doesn't change your sensitivity at all. It gives you a lot more control. So that's why when I give you guys these settings, they're really good for any of you guys who maybe play on console. Maybe you guys have 144 hertz monitor. Maybe you guys play on 120, maybe you guys play on 240. I think these settings are good for no matter what you play on. So I just wanted to clear that up and explain to you guys why I have the settings that I do and why I give the recommendations that I do as well. And with that being said, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those post notifications. You guys get notified for every single new video. And as well, if you guys haven't yet, I do live stream every single day here on this channel. So if you guys like to watch live streams, or if you guys just want to see me play solos, definitely come by my live streams. I live stream every single day here on this channel at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys do come by my live streams. They're a ton of fun. I live stream every single day. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.